Hey, good morning, everybody. Denise with Lazy K Homestead. Well, we're still at the countdown to Christmas, and today is day 13. Oh, I can't believe it's 12 days to Christmas. Where has the time gone? Well, I hope y'all are enjoying the videos. I know I make a lot of the traditional Christmas goodies that most families make, and I like to do that because it brings back memories. It makes me have my heart warming feeling thinking about the people that made these for me in the past and just having them here at Christmas in my memory. So today we are going to make something that was something my mom made, and she made oatmeal walnut raisin cookies. And she used to make them like this big. The big oatmeal containers, that's got the big wide opening. Mom used to make them big enough to where she could put them in there and stack them. And as a little kid, I thought that was just the coolest thing. They would fit in there. So every time she'd have to want to give us a cookie, she didn't have to give us a cookie. I'm sure we begged for one, me and my two brothers. She'd have to turn that up and grab a cookie, and it would be big. I mean, like big as her hand. So that's my memory of that. It was always at Christmas. So let's get started with this recipe. The recipe will be in the description, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put 1 stick of butter. Now, margarine can be substituted. It's clearly up to you. Y'all know we like butter. So I'm going to put that in there. Just go ahead and mix it around. Whoa. I guess I wasn't ready. Mix it around. If you guys know anything about me, I'm real. I make mistakes too. So anyway, now we're going to go ahead and put in our sugars. Now we have 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar and 1/4 cup of white sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and cream that. And while that is creaming, I'm going to go ahead and sift my 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And you don't have to sift it if you don't want to. I just kind of prefer to do that. So let's get that sifted. This recipe doesn't call for a spice except vanilla flavoring, but I am going to add cardamom to it because I am just in love with that flavor. I just think it's such a warm, spicy, wintry kind of spice, I guess you'd say. So I'm going to add that to it. All right. Going to go ahead and keep this cream in here. I have to tell you, this scraper on the beater that Willis got me, it works so well. I'm so impressed with it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 egg. Let's see if I can switch that over here so you can actually see what I'm doing better. There we go. There we are. That's better. All right, let's get that egg mixed well in our creamed butter and sugar. I think this, of course, however big you make your oatmeal cookies, if you made them like Mom, you wouldn't have a whole lot of cookies made in this recipe. But it makes about 2 dozen cookies. They do spread, and we're going to drop them onto the cookie sheet, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, that looks good. Now this calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Still getting used to all this. All right, 1 teaspoon vanilla. And 1 tablespoon of half and half or milk. And I've got half and half, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. I need to use it up anyway. Put that in there. All right. And then I'm going to add my salt and my cardamom. I already have that in here. I'm using a half a teaspoon of cardamom and a half a teaspoon. Let's see, is it a half a teaspoon of salt? Yeah, half a teaspoon of salt. So that's already in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and add all that in there. I'm going to put on my guard because I need to get used to this. I'm going to go ahead and put it there. All right, we're just going to mix that well. Now, this recipe has raisins and walnuts in it. Those are kind of optional, clearly up to you. Oh, and you guys, I almost forgot the baking powder. And I need 1/2 teaspoon of that. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put that in my flour. 1/2 teaspoon. Stick that in there, and I'm just going to mix it up with a fork. While that other is getting nicely mixed, just kind of fluff this up. See what I'm doing? There we go. Keeping the air in the flour. There we go. All right. All right. So now I'm going to use my guard to put my flour in here. And this is 1 cup. It's kind of weird for me. Of course, I'm making a mess. Maybe if yeah, there we go. I won't have this thing in the way. Adding the 1 cup of flour and the 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. There we go. That's why I always go back and just review my recipe, because it's so easy to forget. All right, let me just look at all my stuff here, make sure I got everything. All right, let's go ahead and mix that around. It's still kind of, well, put that thing back on there. My little thing, I guess, oh, okay, I see it. It's just vibrated off that little thing right there. Okay, today's just full of interesting things. Okay, so I need 1 cup of raisins. Now, I didn't hydrate these because you don't need to in a cookie recipe. Cakes, yes, because you don't want it to fall to the bottom. Cookies, they're just so small you don't have to worry about that. Okay, and then we're going to add our walnuts. And I'm going to add just about eyeballing it, 1/2 cup of walnuts. All right, and there we go with that. And now I'm going to add the 1 1/4 cup of old-fashioned oats. Putting all that in there. This is going to be a very thick batter. Look at the mess. I'm always making a mess. A very thick batter, so don't be worried that it's looking too dry, because it won't. Okay. There, that looks great. Let me go ahead and lift this up so you can see what it looks like. Even though it's thick, it's very, very moist. Let me see if I can get some of that out of there. There we go. Doesn't that look yummy? And it even smells better. I wish Willis was here so he could lick the beater. That's like his thing. All right, well, we are done with the cookie dough. I'm going to go ahead and scrape off my beater. And one thing I have found out with this new beater with the scraper, it doesn't, the doughs and things don't stick to it like the other, just the regular metal. So that's kind of great. So I will be right back with the cookie sheet and we'll start putting it on the cookie sheet. All right, before we start putting our cookie dough on our cookie sheet, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And these cookies will cook to between 10 and 12 minutes. Keep an eye on them so you don't want them to burn. They will get nice and brown on the bottom. They're just a real family favorite around here. So what I did, let me show you. This is a a tablespoon that or a serving spoon that you would just have in your regular silverware drawer. And that's what I'm going to use. And I'm just using a heaping tablespoon, blob, dollop, whatever you want to say. And you just go ahead and place that on your cookie sheet. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just have 3 across and probably 3 long. So that'll be 9 on this cookie sheet. And it's a pretty good size. I think it's a half sheet. Half hotel sheet, I believe that's what this is called. And we are just going to continue to put those on here. Doesn't that look good? Now, as big as I'm making these cookies, I know I'm not going to get anywhere of 2 dozen. I may get 18, so a dozen and a half, which is fine for me because if it's a big cookie, you don't need to eat a ton of them. Well, I say that now until they're done and the milk is in a glass and I'm wanting to eat that wonderful home. Just the smell of this cookie, just smelling it now just brings back so many wonderful memories of Mom. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven and I'll be back when they are cooked. Hey everybody, here we are with the oatmeal cookies with walnuts and raisins and a little bit of cardamom. I've got my glass of milk and I am ready to try some of these. I know they're good. They made just 18, so that's a dozen and a half, and they're about that big. A little more than bite size, but oh so yummy. There's the underside. You can see that got a little bit of shiny crispiness from the sugar. But hopefully you'll try this recipe. May bring back some memories for you as well. Well, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys along on this adventure journey, pathway through memory lane during this Christmas season. And we'll be bringing you some more tomorrow. Thanks again. You have a great day. Lazy K Homestead. Bye.